welcome back to Vision 42. I'm Kara Vibes, and we have an amazing, fun show today. We have a very special guest. His name is Mr. Artie Hoffman, and he is a psychic medium, life coach, and author. I'm really excited to have him on today. I feel so blessed to have him on today. And so we're going to invite him in here in a minute. But first, I want to go over the giveaway from last week. So I'm going to double check, but I'm almost positive no one shared. So people commented, people liked, but no one shared. So for this week, I'm not going to add anything to what we had last week. I'll go over everything halfway through the show, but I'm not going to add anything. And we're just going to give away what we gave away last week. Like I said, I can ship it to you. If you're in my area, I can meet you somewhere. I can drop it off. Either way, any way is fine with me. But I am. Give me 1 second here so I can share. I'm going to share this show and give people time to join in here. So give me a moment. Bear with me, guys. I know it's quiet. Bear with me, though. I just want to share the live and give people a chance to come on in. I hope everyone's doing good on this lovely Wednesday, beginning of summer. June, new month, new you, new ventures, fresh start. So I shared it to my page. I'll share it later to other pages. No biggie. But I'm going to go ahead and bring our guest on because I'm really excited to speak with him and hear all the amazing things and stories he has to say and tell us. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. All right, Artie.
Well, thank you for that wonderful introduction. The check is in the mail.
If only it was that easy, right? So you've been around and you've been doing this for over 3 decades.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It really has. And I feel very blessed to be put in this position to help out so many people. And I met the coolest people. And, when you think you've heard it all, you didn't hear it all.
Mm-hmm. There's always more to hear.
There's always more to hear. Everybody has an interesting story about their life. Even if they come from the same family, everybody has their own different perspectives coming from the same family. So, but what's really cool is I never went to college, and yet here I am counseling people um, all over the place. No matter how old, no matter how young, no matter what the circumstances are, the spiritual world feeds me all the answers, knowing what to say to give to, all the people who come to see me. And I'm just as accurate over the phone as I am in person. And because the physicality means nothing, it's all spirit to spirit, it's all spiritual. So I'm able to, help out someone, anyone. I give people back their power, is what probably my strongest attribute is. I make them feel good, and and I give them back their power. And when I say give back people back their power, I help them gain a positive perspective about the situation they're going through, or to give them a healthier perspective about themselves, knowing how to deal with someone or something that's very challenging in their life. It's not always the problem that's the problem. It's how you choose to deal with it. And when you
Mm-hmm.
have a healthy perspective, on the situation, it gives you power and it gives you confidence. So a lot of people remain stuck in their situation. And I call that golden handcuffs. Golden handcuffs is when you're in a job or a relationship you can't stand, but yet the benefits are just good enough that just keep you there, even though you really don't want to be there, but you can't leave because of the benefits, golden handcuffs. So realistically, no one's ever stuck. It's just that you choose to remain stuck because of what that person or situation has to offer you. So
Mm. Very interesting. Very interesting. So how did you discover that you had this gift?
I woke up one morning and I said to my mother, and I said, "What's in that box?" She says, "That's your gift." Ever since then, I had the gift. No, believe it or not, I was very frustrated in my life. I was around 27 years old. I wasn't born with the gift. And I have friends who actually clinically died and came back. They were clinically considered dead. And then they came back. And then after they came back, they literally had the gift. And I didn't,
Hmm.
that wasn't me either. And I was very frustrated in my life. I'm about 27 years old. I had everything going right for me as far as family, as far as health and friends and job. I had everything going for me, but yet I still wasn't fully satisfied inside. So I had a little conversation with God. I said, "God, you need to give me answers, give me clear answers, and please don't scare the hell out of me when you do." So I go into my kitchen after that, and I was going through my junk mail, and usually I don't have patience for junk mail; I just throw it out. But I was sifting through the junk mail, and there was a postcard there, and it said, "How would you like to develop your psychic ability and intuitiveness? Go to the Edgar Casey Foundation in Virginia Beach for this 1 weekend seminar." So I'm looking at it. I said, "Wow, I didn't know you could learn how to do this. I thought either you had it or you didn't." So I asked my wife, who was my wife at the time, I says, "This looks interesting. You want to go with this with me?" She says, "No, I don't give a crap." She says, "You can go if you want." She says, I don't want to go. I'm not interested." So I went away to that 1 weekend seminar, and it literally changed my life forever. And they taught you how to open up your heart and mind to be 100% unconditional. No matter what thoughts or what images came into your head, just share it with the other person. And there's about 50 of us from all different parts of the country there at that seminar in a very large room that they have. And so,
Had some technical difficulties, but
okay,
we're
we're on now. So anyway, so they broke us up into little groups after they got you into that zone, with music and the way they spoke to you. And they said, whoever you're with, just share your thoughts with them. Just don't judge it. Don't judge the image. Don't judge the feeling. Don't judge the words. Whatever comes to you, just share it with that person.
hmm.
So people were telling me how accurate I was. And I was just shocked and amazed that I can do this. And so I went home and I got myself a deck of spiritual cards. And I was reading for friends and family for a few years. And again, people were telling me how accurate I was. And then I got to a point in my life where I needed some fast extra cash other than the job that I do.
Hmm.
And so I said, you know what? I know how to do readings. So I threw an ad in the paper and it said, if I don't pull through, no charge. And 90% of the people paid me.
That's
And,
amazing.
and like wildfire, it just took off. So through a little more advertising and through word of mouth, it's now how how long is it? It's 33 years later, over 33,000 people later. I've read for a lot of people, and I wrote two books called Angels and Answers, and the other one is called Have Your Angels Call My Angels. And these are books that are about understanding to have a healthy relationship with inside for yourself with other friends, with your partner and lover in life, um, with God, with your angels. And it's very detailed. It's very deep, the subjects, but I explain everything in a very simplistic fashion so that everyone could understand. So people were telling me, and I feel very flattered by this. They said, Art, I consider your book my Bible now. It says, like, you give such clarity on life. And, a lot of people wonder, like, why do bad things happen to good people? And I explained it in the book. Or if there really is a God, then why are all these bad things happening to all these people or all the children around the world if there really is a God? And I explained that too. And I explained about, a bunch of different angels and saints. Padre Pio's in there, Mother Teresa's in there, Archangel Michael. I have a bunch of them that within my books. And you can get it on artiehoffman.com, or if you go to Amazon. And again, it's called Angels and Answers, or Have Your Angels Call My Angels. And most of the books, I've done it through meditation. And when I tell you, you're going to have a lot of aha moments, like, oh my God, oh my God. It's like you're literally going to think, everyone who's watching right now, you are literally going to think I wrote that book just for you. That's how personal it is, and that's how detailed it is. And it's going to explain a lot about life itself and about God and angels, and yeah, and how to deal with
Yeah.
relationships that are very challenging too.
Well, you keep bringing up relationships, and I feel like it's something for me.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later on. I'm sure you have a message for me. I'm very spiritual. I've been on my spiritual journey for a few years now, and um, I've always known I've had a gift since I was real little. I just don't know how to use it quite yet. I'm still learning.
It's all about trust. You don't second guess your thoughts that come to you.
Intuition. Yeah. See, I'm working on enhancing my intuition and going with my first instinct. Um, and I'm trying to get better at using it. It's a process. It definitely is. Like
So
when I was a kid,
go
my intuition was spot on. Like I was one of those students who could get A's and B's without even trying, just by following my intuition. And now that I'm an adult, I'm trying to get that back.
mm.
So,
So I'm going to tell you an interesting story that happened to me. I have thousands of stories, but I'm going to tell you this one interesting story. So this lady, I'm doing what's known as Artie parties. People hire me to go to their house, and I read for their friends and family. I mean, I do one-on-one also, but people hire me to go to their house. So I'm, you know, just about all my reads are a half hour long, to a tight half hour. And I tell people, if you want me to communicate to a loved one who's deceased, someone who's passed away, bring a picture of that person. And it doesn't have to be a recent picture. So this lady brings a picture of her mother, and I'm giving her all this information. And at the end of the reading, she goes to me, she goes, Art, she goes, I'm having a hard time actually believing that you're connecting to my mother. She goes, you told me some general things. She goes, it's true. It did have to do with her, but it could also be with anybody else. She goes, but you did tell me some specific things that definitely had to do with my mother. But, I'm still having a hard time that you're actually talking to my mother. So I said, all right. I said, let me have your mom's picture one last time. And I'm looking at the picture of her mother, and I said, your mom is showing me cows. She goes, what do you want me to do with that? I said, I don't know. Your mom is showing me cows.
Mm.
So all of a sudden, in my eyes, mind, I saw all the cows get up and they were all mooing. So I looked at her and I said, I don't know why I'm doing this. So I
Mm.
looked at her and I went, moo. And she started to cry. And I go, what's the matter? And she's pointing to her mother's picture. And she goes, that's her name. I go, what are you talking about? Her name's Muriel, but everyone called her Moo.
Wow. I just got goosebumps when you said that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so I've had a lot of little stories like that. That was just absolutely amazing. So, yeah. And like I said, there's no reading that's the same. Like I don't do anything with protocol where it's like one after another after the same. I mean, there are similar messages. Like people want to know, are they okay? I love you. Do they hear me? Are they So people do um, get similar messages, but yet there's also very specific, detailed messages that pull through. You know, and it's very rewarding to be the messenger, to be able to heal people's hearts. So a lot of people, not a lot, but a decent amount of people say, "Well, art, that's against my religion. I really shouldn't be doing this," or "It's against God. I
Mhm.
really shouldn't be doing this." And I said, "Well, it might be against your religion, but it's not against God, because God's the one who gave me the gift, and He's the one who gives me the answers." And I said, "It's all what your intentions are behind your actions is what makes something right or wrong. So if you're doing something with purity in your heart, then it's the right thing to do. If somebody does exactly what I do, but they have the intention of trying to manipulate people or take advantage of people, yeah, then it's the wrong thing. But
Yep.
just because I do what I do doesn't make it evil. And
Mhm.
I've helped heal so many people's lives. I said, so if you're saying that this is the devil's work, then I need to shake the hands of the devil and thank him for helping me heal so many people, you know?
Absolutely.
So, like I said, I just feel it's just very rewarding. I feel very blessed to be put in this position. And just about all my friends I met now in the yesteryears, in the recent yesteryears, all because of what I do for a living through readings or whatnot. And that seems to be a common denominator of meeting people who are really cool in my life. And those are people who are very much so spiritual, um, very open minded, beautiful heart.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, so I attract a lot of these type of people in my life. And like I said, my last wife, I'm not married to her anymore, but my last wife I met through doing a reading.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, she called me up and it's really funny. She says, "Can you give me a break?" She goes, "Can you give me a discount?" This is my wife. Well, at the time, she was just a stranger. And she caught me at the wrong time where my mood was. And I could tell
Oh.
like she could afford it, but just didn't want to pay my price. And I said to her, if you want Kmart prices, you have to go to Kmart. And so, anyway, so she ended up getting a reading with me. And she says, "Am I going to stay with my husband? Am I going to keep my house?" And I said, "No, by Christmas time, you're going to lose your house and you're not going to be in a relationship with your husband anymore." And both those things happened. And there's a couple
Oh,
other things that I said happened. I don't remember the detail of it, but she reminded me. That's the only reason why I know. Because I don't remember anything in my readings. I really don't. I only remember because people come to me after the fact, you know, to tell me things. Because I'm in a different frame of mind when I'm reading people. So, but she came back for another reading with her sister. I was pretty accurate with both of them as well. And then, yeah, then we ended up. then I gave her a call, and she says, I feel like I should be with you. She goes, I don't know if I'm supposed to work with you, or I don't know if I'm supposed to be in a relationship with you. Like, she felt something because she's intuitive herself. So I said, all right, well, let's go out. Let's give it a try. So we did. And then we did. And yada, yada, yada. So it's quite
That's
interesting.
awesome. What an
Yeah.
amazing love story. That's so special.
Yeah. And my wife before that, um, oh, yes, there are many. No, I'm only kidding. No, my wife before that, um, I kept on going to sleep. And my wife before that, she was actually my agent. She was my model agent. You know, she owned a modeling agency. And I haven't spoken to her like 2, 3 months at the time. And I call her up out of the blue and I said, Kath, I said, I got all these strange messages about you. I said, it's pretty detailed. I said, it's none of my business. I said, do you want me to tell you what I got, or should I just blow it off? Because it's all about you. It's none of my business. She goes, no, go for it. So I was talking to her probably for about 10 minutes and she didn't say a word. And I said to her, I said, I really don't know what I just said to you, you know, with all these thoughts and stuff. I'm just telling you my feelings of what I'm getting off of you. I said, did anything I say make any sense to you whatsoever? She goes, it's really strange that you said what you said. She goes, you're telling me things only I know. She goes, my family doesn't know. My best friends don't know. She goes, you describe my feelings and what's going through my thoughts with extreme detail.
Wow.
She goes, that was amazing. And so I met with another psychic friend of mine. And I was very confused because I was with another girl at the time. I was with another girl at the time. And I said to her, you know, I don't know what to do. You know, it's like I'm just very confused. And I didn't know why I was getting all these psychic messages with Kathy because I wasn't even that psychic at the time. You know, I just started, just started. And so anyway, my friend goes to me, you know, when I knocked on her door, she opened up the door. She goes, oh, congratulations, Art. You look like you just met your soulmate. And I go, what? And I didn't say anything to her or tell her any story. And she goes, no, she goes, you're going to be married to her. I go, but she's engaged and, you know, she's drop dead gorgeous. Oh my God. Any guy would do anything to go out with this woman. I said, I can't imagine myself going out with that girl. And like at that time, I thought she was out of my league. I mean, she was that kind of drop dead gorgeous. And long story short, I was no longer with the girl I was with. She is no longer with the guy she was with. And we became a little more friendlier. And I asked her out. And then a year and a half later, we got married.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, my brother's
How
funny.
how how awkward was that reading that you got? I mean, geez.
Yeah, that just happened like total randomly. And even though we're no longer together, you know, we're very friendly with one another, you know.
Hmm.
And, you know, when people are in relationships, um, you know, there are relationships where it's either an all or nothing. You can't just be friends. The point, the point that you can get to when you're in a relationship with someone, to be friends with someone after you break up, whether it be you're just going out or you're engaged or married. On the most part, most people cannot be just friends. They say, oh, let's just be friends. You can't. It's an all or nothing because if it doesn't bother you that your partner or your ex-partner is going out with someone else and they're able to talk to you about it, if it doesn't bother you at all, then yeah, you could be friends. If it bothers you, like most people it does, you can't be friends. You could be friendly, but not friends. because you don't want to hear about the other person and what's going on in their life, especially with someone else, because you wanted to go out with them or they wanted to go out with you. So you're not able to be your natural self. You're not able to share your natural conversation with someone,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So when people say, well, like, oh, no, I still, let's remain friends or let's be friends, it's like, no, when you're that emotionally invested in someone, it's an all or nothing. So, and the problem with a lot of relationships is that people don't accept each other for who they are. They want them to be how they want them to be. And you're not accepting that person the way that they really are. So when you could support your partner for who they are or what they like or what they want to do, or you have an open mind to listen to them in an open conversation, that's a healthy relationship. But if you're always judging your partner or always questioning them, or if you have trust issues, then you don't have a relationship. If you don't have trust in a relationship, you could love them out of 10. But if you don't have a relationship, if you don't have honesty in your, uh, yeah, if you can't trust your partner, you don't have a relationship,
I agree. I absolutely agree.
you know? So, and, so being psychic, when people are that kind of close to me, I can't read them because if you're emotionally invested in the outcome of the reading, then you can't give a proper reading to that person because you're too emotionally connected. So you don't know if it's coming through your ego or if it's coming through spiritually. So that's why it's difficult to read for people who are very close to you, depending on the
Yeah.
topic. So I have friends, so I can't read for myself. So I'll ask a few, 2 or 3 different friends, and see what their take is on whatever it is I'm asking. So
That's awesome. I wish I had some friends like that we could, give each other readings. That'd be awesome. I've only been using cards for myself for not even that long, probably like 3 or 4 months. And I've only read myself maybe a handful of times. It's always been spot on, but I haven't read anybody else.
mm.
So, but I have my crystals. Like I have my amethyst right here. I've got my chakra
Well,
bracelets.
yeah, I got all my little tools too. It helps magnify. So for people who are watching or listening, those little crystals helps magnify your third eye so you can see clearer. Or a lot of times people will have crystals to help protect them
Hmm.
from other people around you. So, because there's a lot of negative willies out there.
Yes, there
So
is.
you got to protect yourself.
Yes. That's one of the reasons why I have this necklace on. Um, so can you see or feel anything about me, even though we're just like face chatting on a live stream?
You're very sentimental, and there's lots of little things that remind you about your past. When we first started to FaceTime each other, through the live stream, I was hearing the song, Always Something There to Remind Me. I was hearing that song in my head. And do you like to go over like photographs? Were you just going over photographs, or you like to reminisce with photographs?
I take photographs. So I've been going through photographs and I do a lot of videography and I'm trying to keep a lot of photos. So all my childhood photos pretty much got ruined in a flood. So I'm trying to make
Oh,
sure that doesn't
wow.
happen for my kids.
Wow. Um,
Yeah.
So what I'm getting is that you're a rule breaker to get what you need to get done. When you become focused on what it is that you want to get done, you'll like stop at nothing to get things accomplished. And it's like you get in a vision where, like, I know what I need to get done, and you do it. And even though you might not always follow protocol, it's like you're always interested in manifesting what it is you're trying to get accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll stop almost at nothing. And even if somebody tries to give you constructive advice or criticism, or even the people, especially the people closest to you, it's like you're pretty stubborn, and it's like, no, I still need to do this. It's like you're still you being you. You're still going to do what is passionate in your heart. And um, it's like you'll compromise up to a certain point, but you're not going to compromise who you are, what you love to do.
Yeah, that definitely resonates. So I have, oh no, what happened to my camera? There it is. So when I was 16 years old, I lost my firstborn child, my only son, at 6 months old. And it was kind of like, I've only told a few people this. So I used to cry because I was 16, a new mom. I used to cry because I could feel how much hate was in the world, and I didn't know and want the world to have that type of impact on my son as it did on me. You know what I mean? And I feel like that was selfish of me. So I don't, but
You made the you made the best choice at that time, given the circumstances in your life. When a lot of people make choices and it might not be the popular decision, I always say you haven't walked a mile in their shoes to understand why they do what they did, or why they do what they do. And when you don't understand the full picture of why somebody acts the way they do or do what they do, it's very wrong to judge others for their choices. And at that time, you made a healthy choice based on how you personally felt in that time, in that moment in time. So it's not like you did anything to be destructive. You didn't do anything to be hurtful. You did out of protection, out of love. And the decisions you make being younger as you do as an adult, you know, they're not always the same.
Mhm.
Your values change, your perception changes, what's right and what's wrong changes, you know? So there's no right or wrong, there's just experiences,
Right.
you know?
And it actually, I don't, like I don't beat myself up over it. I used to, but I don't do that anymore because I feel like I did make the right decision. I feel
Right.
like everything happens for a reason. And like I lost my relationship because I've always felt like I had a really good connection with God Himself, um, through Jesus Christ, because that's who I believe in. And I also believe in the universe and everything else, but and so I did lose my relationship with them, but I feel like I've gained it back, and I feel like since I've gained back, it's been so much better. I'm just feel so much better in general. Like my mindset is so much better.
Yeah.
So it's been a amazing journey, going through the things I have to grown into who I am today. And I feel like I couldn't be who I am today without that happening.
I was doing a reading for this one girl who I did become friendly with. And we were sitting on my couch, and I had a country station on. I was listening to country music, and I was communicating to her mother. And her mother had a very challenging life. And I said to her, "Don't judge me, because until you've walked a mile in my shoes." She says, "Don't judge me until you've walked a mile in my shoes." When I tell you, 15 seconds later, a song came on the TV, and the name of the song was called "You Haven't Walked a Mile in My Shoes." And I just said that to this girl right before that song came on. And that was like amazing epiphany that, her mom is around.
Mm, absolutely. I call them God bumps, not goosebumps. So I don't know why I refer to them as goosebumps, because I do call them God bumps, because it's just that feeling of warmth that goes through your body. It's the energy that flows through your body that you feel when it's just like something amazing. You know what I mean?
Oh
You just
yeah.
feel that connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good tingly feeling when you know that you're connected. It's a
Hmm.
tremendous feeling.
It is.
Um,
Absolutely.
you know, when you have a premonition, there are people who are listening right now who do get premonitions or who get gut feelings, and they're afraid to share the information with their friends or family. I have a way to deliver a message to someone. If you're afraid to tell people what you psychically see, and you're afraid to be judged, or you're afraid what they're going to say, just look at them and say, "You know what? I had a dream about you." And because everyone can relate to a dream. And then you say, "I dreamt you were going to be pregnant by August 15th." And then lo and behold, so whether it's true or not, if it comes true, people are going to remember that. And they're going, "Oh my God, you told me in your dream that, it was a
Hmm.
dream." And if you were wrong, it was a dream. I was just sharing with you my dream. So you don't have to be worried about being judged, because everyone can relate to a dream.
Yeah. I have dreams. I absolutely do.
Hallucinated dreams, or
No, dreams that, um like sometimes they'll eventually come true, or I'll have a dream about someone, and then I'll run into him not even like a week later and just be talking to him, be like, "Hey, I had a dream about you." But it's not like something that comes true. It's sort of like just a dream, or they come in my dream. It's like I'm having a dream about something, but they're just in it. It's weird. But it feels like they're really there.
I love those dreams. I except one dream, I oh my God, it totally screwed me up. I dreamt, and it was one of those dreams that's so real. It was so real. It's equivalent to me talking to you now, and then all of a sudden I woke up. It's like that's how real my dream was. Well, when I
Mm.
was with my previous wife, and she's sleeping, and I'm having a dream, and like I said, it was extremely real. And I dreamt that Madonna and I were really best of friends. We knew each other since we were little kids. And so fast forward, we're adults now, and she calls me up out of left field. And she goes, "Hey, Art, what are you doing these days?" And I said, "Oh, wow, it's so nice to hear from you. I haven't heard from you in a while." And we were reminiscing, and she wasn't, Madonna wasn't touring at the time. And I had some open time on my hands. So she said to me, she says, why don't you come on over? Because she was living in England in an apartment at the time. She goes, why don't you come over to England and visit me for a little bit? I said, wow, that sounds like a really good idea.
Mhm.
So I fly over to England, and I'm with Madonna in her flat, in her apartment. And we're chilling out, and we were so happy to see each other because we haven't seen each other in years, and we knew each other since we were like little kids. Now, mind you, this is a dream.
Mhm.
And it was sensationally like super real as real can get. So all of a sudden we're talking, we're reminiscing. And so I said to her, I said, look, I said, being that you're not seeing anybody and I'm not seeing anybody, I said, so what do you think? You want to give us a shot? You want to go out with each other, date each other? She goes, yeah. She goes, I'd actually like that. I think it would be fun. And I said, all right, cool. So I know I leaned over and we kissed each other. And then she goes, I'm just gonna freshen up. I'm just gonna take a quick shower. I'll be right there, and then we'll go to the diner right down the block from me. We'll take a walk down there. I said, all right, great. So while she's in the shower, I'm calling up my friends. I'm calling up my brother. I'll say, you'll never guess whose apartment I'm in right now. And they go, what? They go, I'm in Madonna's apartment. Says, get out of here. I said, yeah. I said, we're going out. We're officially going out. Said, get out of here. I said, no. I said, but it's not like that. I said, we've known each other since we were kids. It's not like, oh, Madonna. I said, I look at her differently. And she looks at me differently also. And I said, but everything's cool. But yeah, we're starting to date. And so of course it's cool and exciting because she's Madonna, and so everybody else is like, wow, 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 wow. And for me it was like rehooking up with a childhood friend. So anyway, so I get finished making my phone call. She comes out, she looks nice, she's dressed nice, cash. And so anyway, we're walking out of her place, and just as we're walking out of her place, walking down the walkway to go to the walkway by the street to walk down the block, and we're holding hands. And as we're walking, like maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 feet, all of a sudden paparazzi jumps out of the bushes and starts taking pictures of us. And we're both like laughing and smiling. And we looked at each other, and she says, Art, get used to this. And then I woke up, and I woke up to my wife, who I was getting ready to divorce at the time. I woke up to my wife, and she's lying down. She's sleeping, snoring. And I'm thinking to myself, are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you nuts? I'm like freaking out. You gave me Madonna and you take her away, and now I'm married to her? Are you serious? I freaked out. When I tell you I was angry. So the funny thing is, a few days later, I told my wife about the dream. I didn't tell her I was pissed, although I was. I was like fuming pissed. So anyway, when I finished telling her the story, when I woke up to realize it was only a dream, she started to laugh, and she literally was hurling over. She goes, oh my God. She was almost in tears. She goes, you must have been really pissed that here you are thinking you're married to Madonna, and you wake up and you're married to me. And she literally spoke the truth, but I didn't elaborate on that. you know I know better not to respond to that one.
Right.
So, but yeah, that was one of my craziest dreams.
That is a pretty crazy dream. The One of my craziest dreams that I used to have the same dream over and over and over again my childhood until I became an adult, and I stopped having it eventually. So I used to have this dream about Beauty and the Beast, and I was the beauty. And it would happen over and over again, like the same dream. So that's my weird dream. I still haven't figured it out yet, why I had that dream so much.
Well, what happened in the dream?
Um, captured by the beast. I don't quite remember it because it's been so long since I had it. All I know is that I was like, I ended up falling in love with the beast, I guess. I don't remember.
So is that something that happened to you, that probably happened to you in your real relationship, in your real life?
I possibly, possibly.
You
Yeah.
know, it was one of it was
I kind of
uh,
feel like it.
yeah, it was one of your relationships within your life that you would have that kind of a dream. But it's also what happened in the dream. So a lot of times you could Google, what dreams mean, and according to what dreams mean, will describe to you what is happening or what's going to happen or what to expect, you know?
Yeah.
So
I've never
I'll give,
Googled it.
huh?
I've never Googled it.
Yeah, Google what dreams mean, the meaning of dreams, and then describe. I'll give you an example. So, over about a year ago, I dreamt of elephants walking across a very low river. And out of the blue, an alligator came up out of the water and swallowed whole one of the elephants. And I was standing there mortified. I was like horrified. I was like, oh my God. I was so upset to witness that this alligator was devouring this elephant, this one baby elephant.
Oh.
And so I woke up and I looked under alligator and swallowing, alligator attacking or alligator swallowing. I forgot what I read. And it said the meaning of that dream was you're going to be in a situation where someone else is getting hurt. It was alligator attack. That's what it was, an alligator attack. It says you're going to be locked in a situation where someone else close to you is getting hurt and there's nothing you could do about it.
Oh.
And that's exactly what happened. Somebody who
Oh.
I really loved and cared about, there wasn't a damn thing I could do about it.
That's the saddest thing. Just to have to sit there and just watch it old. That really is the saddest thing. Yep. Can you hear me? I can't hear you no more, Artie. Gotta love technology. You can't hear me? Let's see. Can you hear me now? I can't hear you. Hmm. Gotta love technology right in the middle of something great, you know? Let me see if I take you off and bring you back on. I can't hear you. Well, everyone else can hear. So I don't know why I can't for some reason. Let's see if we can switch it to this. Let me see if I can hear you now. Nope. Yeah, we can't hear you, Artie. Can you go in the settings and make sure that you're setting in there the audio is correct? Because they can only hear me. This is what happens when you try and do great things. Technology fails you. Can't hear you. Oh, there we
Can't hear me?
now we can. Yay!
Yay.
Technology fails you when you're trying to do amazing
You
things.
have to understand something. Right now, we're in a thing called Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde, it's when the stars are lined up in such a way, and it's going to continue till June 22nd. Did you ever hear of Mercury retrograde?
I've heard of it and I know we're in it, but I don't know. I know it interferes with technology and a couple. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know full detail.
During Mercury retrograde, it happens 4 times a year, and right now we're in Mercury retrograde, and that's for everybody. When you're in Mercury retrograde, you do not start a new relationship. You do not buy a new house. You don't buy a new car. You don't purchase electronics. You don't start anything brand new during Mercury retrograde because it will not work out. You're going to have problems or issues with it. You don't want to sign contracts. You don't want to start new jobs. You don't want to start anything new. Relationship. If you're already doing something and then you're going through Mercury retrograde, that's different. You're okay. You just don't want to start anything brand new. There's a lot of miscommunications that happens during Mercury retrograde. Basically, Murphy's law: whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So don't
Mm-hmm.
feel like you need to come to a place of acceptance. You just need to take extra precaution. You usually don't want to travel during Mercury retrograde also,
That makes sense.
you know? So Mercury retrograde, you really do have to be careful with yourself, but also, like I said, don't start anything brand new during Mercury retrograde. Otherwise, your moves are going to cost you. And I'll give you a perfect example. Um, Princess Diana and Prince Charles, got married during the height of Mercury retrograde. And all the major astrologers of England said to them, change the date, just change the date by a week. You're right in the height of Mercury retrograde. And the royal family didn't listen. And then look what happened to the whole family and to everybody.
Wow.
You know, um, I went to purchase during when I was with my wife. We went to purchase a gorgeous townhouse, and the closing date was right on Mercury retrograde. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know what it was or that it even existed. So one of my female friends, who's a very good astrologer, she says, Artie, she said it with a British accent. She says, Artie, she says, you don't want to sign for your house during Mercury retrograde. She goes, put it off for a week. She goes, tell me how to go out of town for business. She goes, but I'm telling you, things are not going to work out well with the house if you sign it now.
Mhm.
So I said to my wife that we have to delay it by a week. And she goes, what difference does it make? She goes, that the house is already built. Because we had a townhouse. We were right in the middle of like 6 or 7 other townhouses. And our townhouse was right in the middle of all of them. So anyway, and my lawyer, who is a friend of mine, got really ticked off at me because I delayed the closing. Oh, Art, what are you doing? This is the biggest time of your life. And oh, it's such an inconvenience. He just wanted to get it done. I said, Rich, I said, I have to go out of town for business. I can't. I need to delay it a week. So we delayed it a week. Well, wouldn't you know, our townhouse of the other 7 townhouses that were connected to us, because it was one big building, our townhouse was the only townhouse that had 0% problems. All the other townhouses had structural problems or construction problems with their homes, and we're the only ones that were saved.
Oh man. Yeah, see, everything's starting to go whack.
Yeah, it's Mercury retrograde.
Yeah. Go figure, right?
Yeah, really.
There we go. I'm back.
There you go. So
But
anyway, yeah, so you don't want to screw around with Mercury retrograde.
my sister is watching and she said, "Well, I just bought a car."
How long ago?
Probably just yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, it started May 29th.
My another girl that's watching, she said, "I just started talking to someone new after 8 years."
Well, yeah, good luck with that one. So, like I said, May 29th on May 29th to June 22nd, you're going to have issues with new things. And my wife, when the one that owned the modeling agency, I walked into the office and her best friend who worked for her, she said to me, she says, "Art, congratulate me." She goes, "I just bought a new house. I just bought a new home." And she said, "We're signing the contract at the end of this week and it's going to be ours." I said, "Holla, put it off for a week. Don't do it now. Wait for a week. We're in Mercury retrograde." And she didn't understand any of this. And I had to explain it all to her. She goes, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to. No, it's already said and done. And no, I can't." And I go, "Holla, trust me. Wait it out a week." And she did not wait it out a week. And a month later, she found out that there was a major crack um, in her built-in pool, and it cost us
Oh,
$10,000 to have it fixed.
oh man.
And then she kept texting me, "I should have listened. I should have listened."
Mm-hmm. Sure shoulda.
You
Yeah,
know?
I'm hard headed. I'm hard headed and stubborn. So
Yeah, I know you are.
yeah. So I don't listen too well, but I'm learning. I'm getting better. I'm
Learn to go
trying.
with the flow. Learn to go with the flow.
I'm trying to learn how to go with the flow and focus on one thing at a time. That's my that's my main two goals.
Oh my God. Um, Hold on a second. You're going to end up owning a very high end sports car. I don't know if you're getting the deal of a lifetime on it, or it's not brand new. It's not brand new. Um, but someone's either giving it to you for super dirt cheap or they're giving it to you. But it's a high end sports car. And it's an older car, it's an older classic car. And
Ooh,
it's like, I don't want it anymore, or I don't need it anymore, or there's sentimental values that they were so connected to it, it's not there anymore for whatever reason. And they're giving it to you for like I said, super dirt cheap or nothing. And you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God."
that's exciting.
Yeah,
That's exciting. I need a new car.
yeah. So it's, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be like right away, but you will experience that. I just saw that.
We have a YouTube watcher that has a question. I've never seen them watch before. It's a new viewer.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know what Xenon is.
I never heard of a Xenon.
Me neither.
Well, what's the question?
He says, "Would you help me understand my relations with Xenon or recommend something?" I don't know what Xenon is. I've never heard of that.
I don't feel like, honestly, I mean, I'd have to Google it, but honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if the person just created that word.
It says that he's a person.
like I said, I don't have a connection to that. I don't have a connection to Zen. I've never heard of Zenon. Not that it should make a difference. So what's the question?
So Zenon is a person. I'm putting it on the screen. I don't know if you can see it. It said, "Would you help me understand my relations with Zenon or recommend something?" And his name is Farid Guzed. Guzed.
Okay.
But he's watching from. He's got to be watching from overseas.
Right. Hold on.
He said he was his friend.
Really just learn from it. Don't try to make it more than what it is, because I feel like your values are different than each other's. Um, what's going on in Zenon's life, what's going on in his life, they're on just two different wavelengths altogether. And what they used to share was cool back in the day, but their values have definitely changed. And so therefore it's like I wouldn't try to make anything of it, because I feel like it's not worthwhile. It's I feel like it's going to cause more heartache, or one one person's going to be willing to really put a lot of effort into it and the other one isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of what I'm getting out of it. That's my gut feeling. Sorry to say.
So there you have it. Thank you for watching. And Artie, I'm going to have you stick around after I end the show, because I'd love to touch bases with you a little bit more. And so I want to thank everyone for tuning in and sharing this time with me and Artie here on Vision 42. Make sure you go to artiehoffman.com and get his books, Angels and Answers and Have Your Angels Call My Angels.
And if people want to get a private personal reading with me over the phone or FaceTime, I'm just as accurate over the phone as I am in person. I'm in New Jersey. And you can call me at 732-778-7173. And I'll repeat it, 732-778-7173. Or you can email me, artiehoffman@gmail. And I could connect to your loved ones who have passed away in heaven, or I could talk about the detail of your life, as far as, your love life, your work life, your medical history, whatever you want.
I edit that. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I tried to put your phone number up.
No, thank you. Yeah, or they could just check me out at artiehoffman.com, and I have a lot of YouTubes up there and videos, little mini videos and stuff. So it's really cool. So if you want to gain back the power in your life, if you want the power to be with you, the force be with you, then give me a call, and I'll tell you what's going on behind the scenes, and give you back your happiness and understanding and your power. And it was a pleasure being on here, and I thank you kindly for having me on.
Thank you so much, Artie. And I know it doesn't read correctly on my screen because technology is not working for me right now, but all the numbers are correct. Area code 732-778-7173. Give Artie a call. He's amazing. And thank you so much, Artie. Stay with me. I'm going to end the show. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who watched. I hope you watched thoroughly, because he did have a message for one of you who are listening. So I hope you watched thoroughly, and we'll see you guys next time, or at least I will. And I hope to have Artie on again, because this was awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
See you guys later. Bye. Peace.
Take care.